So many people here in southeast Louisiana have seen their fair share of storms and hurricanes through the years. You know the major ones by name, and there's no need to revisit them. But comparing every storm that comes our way to the worst ones can lead us to a false sense of security. Just take a look at what happened on August 5th, 2 years ago. That wasn't even a tropical storm, just a system that sat over the metro area, dumping 5 to 8 inches of rain in about 2 hours. It caused plenty of damage and exposed a lot of problems with the Sewage and Water Board and the pumps. Right now, early indications are the current system will form into at least a tropical depression. And for a place that hosts hurricane parties, that may not sound like much, but we know heavy doses of rain can be devastating. With advances in technology and meteorology, the forecasting of storms and hurricanes are becoming more accurate and giving a good window of time for people to prepare. With it in mind, it can't hurt to do that. Have your evacuation plan. Know where you're headed and where you'll stay. Of course, make sure you have enough food and water to last at least 3 days. And make sure you have a first aid kit, batteries, and the medications you depend on. Think of it like insurance. Nobody likes paying for insurance, and we're basically paying for something we hope to never use, but we still do so. The same can apply for storm preparedness. We may hate preparing for something that may not be disastrous, but let's do it anyway and hope we don't have to use our emergency plans. Tan Trung, Eyewitness News.
And be sure to keep it right here on Channel 4. We will have continuing coverage with more live updates on Eyewitness News at 6, WWLTV.com, and our app. We are also going to have